is the love that flows through us like the blood in our veins, the love we share with one another, the love that drives us, that binds us, that connects us with that special person that makes our heart beat. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful, crisp Monday evening. And of course, this is the 15th of January, the middle of the month of a new year. Welcome to Heartbeat, a special program dedicated to all the lovers out there, from the young lovers to the old flames. This is a program for you. On Heartbeat, we like to dive and explore love in all its beauties and complexities. We like to take a journey down lover's lane to understand love, to understand one another, to promote love, and to grow in it, to appreciate it. So, join me tonight as we once again take a journey down lover's lane and celebrate that four-letter word that drives us, that binds us together: love. So if you're right now snuggled up or cuddled up with that very special person you call your heartbeat and you're hearing the sound of my voice, or maybe you're a lonely heart out there just looking for that special person to love, or maybe right now your heart is troubled and you're looking for that solution to that problem with your boyfriend, with your girlfriend, with your husband, with your wife, with your spouse, or you're having that relationship problem and you've tossed and turned, and it's keeping you up at night and you just can't find a solution to it. Tonight, if you can hear my voice, I want you to know you're tuned in to the right place, because on Heartbeat, matters of the heart are our specialty. So keep your dial locked. Don't go anywhere. Enjoy our programming and join us as we take a journey down lover's lane. Tonight, I have a special package for you. Something unorthodox, something we don't always do as often. So keep your dial locked. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this short musical break. Passion is temperamental, but love is calm. This is still Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, and of course, this is Heartbeat, a program dedicated to all the lovers out there, from the young loves to the old flames. This is a program for you. Tonight, once again, we want to take a journey down Lover's Lane to explore and appreciate love in all its beauties and complexities. And of course, my name still remains Bucci, and like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. And in the immortal words of Charlie Chaplin, I'm a tramp, a gentleman, a poet, a dreamer, a lonely fellow, always hopeful of romance and an adventure. You can actually catch all our programming here on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM on our social media pages, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. You can just type in Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM and catch us live. Like, subscribe, and join us. You can be part of the studio. Take a look around our grounds and actually get to know the people behind the mic, the people out there who are here for you always. We live stream all our programming. So if there's a program you've heard earlier in the day, or maybe a previous episode of this program that you want to reconnect to or probably get some insight into, you can actually check it out on these social media platforms. Now, tonight, as I promised last week, we've been dealing with a lot of heavy subjects of late. We've been talking about things like conflict. We've been talking about self-esteem, moving forward, how to bounce back from complicated situations, and also, of course, loving yourself, and also forgiveness, redemption. These are kind of some of the topics we've been talking about. And this week, I actually promised that I was going to try and lighten things up a bit so it's not too heavy, because of course, as we all know, in relationships there are the heavy, serious times, and of course there are the lighter notes, the lighter times, the times that give us that breather to enjoy our relationships. So tonight, once again, I'm going to go and be totally unorthodox. I'm just going to talk straight from the heart, and I'm just going to express a few ideas, of course, that I have. And of course, as always, this program is an interactive program. So at some point, I'm going to give out the number that you can call in. If there's something that you want to talk about, maybe something I'm going to talk about tonight that you don't totally agree with, maybe you can actually call in and share your thoughts. Of course, no man, like we always say, is an island of knowledge. No man is a library of knowledge. Of course, we can all learn from each other. And of course, we learn every day. So you can call in, share your thoughts. And of course, you have the platform, you have the time to air your thoughts. And also, if there's something in your relationship, maybe a problem, some kind of problem in your relationship that you've been struggling to find an answer to find that solution to, you can also call in here, and we will do our best to give you the best guidance and the best solution or resolution to whatever issue it is. Or maybe there's someone just out there, a special person that you want to reach out to and just let them know how you feel or how they make you feel. Feel free. But I'll give the numbers out soon enough. But tonight, I want to start off like this. I want to tell you two stories. And from there, I want you to not just also give your opinions, but also maybe learn something from these stories I want to share. Now, I have this friend of mine, and about 4 years ago, he met this person, this lady. This lady seemed to be the girl of his dreams. She seemed to be the person that he saw himself marrying. He saw himself sharing a future with. He saw in this person the mother of his children. He saw this person actually making himself better. He believed, like in love, When you meet that one person, that special person, that person makes you better. That person makes you strive to be a better version of yourself. And so, of course, he dated with this person. Him and this person dated. They dated for some time. And, of course, he mustered up the courage and proposed to said person. And she agreed. She agreed to marry him. And, of course, he was overjoyed. He was over the moon. Everything seemed to be falling in place. Her family accepted him. He accepted her family. He did everything he could to try and make things right, to do right by this person. Now, of course, as any relationship, it wasn't a smooth relationship. It had its ups and it had its downs. And of course, like in every relationship, you try to overlook the flaws and the little things about the other person that maybe just rub you the wrong way. But as a tolerant person, as a person in love, you have to forego some of these things to actually get what you're looking for, to actually appreciate what you want. And so he did. He tried his best, tried to set things right. He got married, ticked all the bells and whistles, got married, and tried to settle down with this person. But just like every relationship, just as constant as people change, the only thing constant in this life is change. So do the dynamics of the relationship. Now, this person who seemed so down to earth, and this person that seemed so understanding, so loving, so caring, seemed not to be able to tolerate this person, to tolerate this guy. Now, don't get me wrong, this guy is not a saint. He made his mistakes. He did things that, of course, weren't kosher, weren't relationship worthy, let's put it that way. But in all that, he still tried to do his best. He still tried to make things work. And he also tried his best to make this person happy. Now, this person was not happy with him. This person seemed like everything he did just sort of fell short. Even the little things, the little criticisms, it just seemed to escalate. It got higher and higher and louder until one day, this lady that he said he loved so much was ready to put his life on the line for, was ready to sacrifice, was ready to start a family with. All of a sudden, says or tells him that she doesn't love him anymore. She says she doesn't trust him anymore. In fact, she says she doesn't even know him anymore. Now, this baffled the young man because at some point in the back of his head, the thought he always had was, well, it's a new relationship. Things will get better. With time, with dedication and commitment, things will get better. But it just didn't seem that way. No matter what he did, it just seemed like this person was fundamentally not happy with him. And lo and behold, she reveals it. And so, eventually, about probably a year and a half into their marriage, the girl decides she wants to call things quits. She decides she doesn't want this relationship anymore. It devastated the guy. He couldn't understand it. He tried. He ticked all the boxes. According to he went through his head. He seemed to tick all the boxes right. Of course, he wasn't a saint. He wasn't perfect. But he tried his best. And things weren't working out. Now, the stories he kept getting from outside, people would tell him, you have to fight for your love. You have to prove to this person that you love them. You have to go above and beyond the call of duty to let her see that you love her, and you can love enough. In fact, one person actually even said you can love enough for the two of you. But fundamentally, the girl was not happy with the guy. And so the guy granted her wish. She requested that they end the marriage. And so he did his part and he granted. Fine. If this is what you want, if this is what makes you happy, then go ahead. Now, my question here is this, or the thing that pops into my mind, because one of the first things when I heard this story and I was relaying it with a group of colleagues and friends of mine, the first reaction, or one of the early reactions I got was, oh, that means the guy doesn't love her. And it was mostly ladies I got this from, because a real man would fight for the woman he loves. A real man wouldn't let her go. But is that really the definition of a real man? A real man will fight for the person that he loves, even though said person does not love him. A real man would not let go, even though said person says she doesn't want to be with him. I think I disagree with that. A real man is somebody who learns to be where he's appreciated and not tolerated. And this also goes for women too in their relationships. We all need to learn where to be in our relationships, where we are celebrated, where we're appreciated and not tolerated. Now, what do I mean by this? Would you rather be in a loveless marriage than being on your own? Would you rather, because of the title of being married, would you rather spend the rest of your life till death do you part with somebody who you're fundamentally not happy with, or fundamentally is not happy with you, in a relationship that you're not happy? Would you rather be there than to be called, or you want to be called, a married person? And we tend to see this a lot in our relationships. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not preaching or advocating that people should end their relationships and, for that. No. Marriages are hard. They're tough. They take a lot of commitment, a lot of dedication, and a lot of sacrifice. But I would not advocate for anybody to be in a marriage where there is no love. In a marriage where your partner or one partner is opting to leave. You hear cases like, oh, things went south and he broke my heart and I'm bitter and I can't forgive him. You hear cases like this all the time. Would you rather stay in a situation where you fundamentally are not happy, and your partner is not happy? Your partner is not willing to work things out with you. Your partner is not willing to stand and fight for the relationship. You would rather stay in this, committed, than to let go. We hear this all the time. They say if you love something, you let it go. If it comes back to you, it's meant to be yours. If it doesn't come back to you, then it was never meant for you in the first place. Where would you lie? Where would you stay? Or maybe a situation where, as a lady, maybe you had a child out of wedlock, and because of the shame and the stigma of being a mother or a single mother, you decide, I'm going to marry the father of my child, whether he loves you or he doesn't love you, whether he's treating you right or not. You do it out of shame and stigma. What does that say about us? What does that say as a community, as a society? Love is a beautiful thing. Love is something that when you feel it, when you have it in your life, especially from your significant other, it makes you feel like you can fly. It makes you feel like you can touch the sky, like you can accomplish everything. It's like a breath of fresh air. Would you deny yourself the chance or the opportunity to feel that love, to be in that kind of a relationship because of what society and stigma are attaching or labeling to you? Personally, I don't think so. Now, my second story. There was this young lady. She met this guy. She fell in love with this guy, and the guy, in turn, had feelings for the girl. Probably not as intense as the girl did for him, but he had feelings for her all the same. They dated on and off for a long time, many years. Now, one day, as the girl was sitting at home, a friend calls her up on the phone and tells her, "Have you seen Facebook? Your boyfriend is getting married today." She's devastated, of course. She's shocked by this thing on Facebook, seeing the boyfriend in the arms of another person and happy and seeming to get married. Now, of course, she's heartbroken. She's devastated. She can't believe it, because all her life, no matter how far or wide things were between her and this guy, whether it was during their off time or their on time, during their on and off again relationship, she always saw herself ending up with this guy. And now he's getting married. And so she becomes bitter. She becomes heartbroken. She becomes lost. And she attributes it to this guy. He did this to me. It's his fault. Now, I remember when we talked about redemption, when we talked about things like that, we talked about one of the first things in redemption is accepting your fault and accepting your flaw. Now, there's a story on social media I saw today that's kind of breaking, where I think, I don't know if it's a real thing or it just, for me, it's weird, but it's a story. You can check it out online on YouTube, Twitter. It's a video showing a girl in, I think in Ikeja Mall in Lagos, getting down on one knee to propose to her boyfriend. And unfortunately, her boyfriend turned her down. Now, some of the comments you see online are a bit disturbing to me. I mean, a lot of people criticizing the girl. Why would she put the guy on the spot like this? Why would she emasculate him in such a fashion? But I tend to see it the other way. Why don't we celebrate her for her bravery? For stepping up to the plate to say, you know what, I'm putting my heart on my sleeve and I'm going to make the move for the person I love. I'm going to fight for this person that I love. Now, a lot of people also coming out to say, why would the guy diss the girl like this? Or, why would he do this to her? But then let's flip the script. If it was the other way around, if it was the guy who proposed to the girl and she turned him down, would we be saying the same thing? But my argument on this case comes like this. We have to give, I think I've always said this to many people. I mean, I would love a day or to live in a society where women feel brave enough to go after they love for what they love. They're willing to break conventional norms and conventional society rules that etiquette and womanhood have taught. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm just speaking from the heart and I'm speaking from my mind right now. I think, for me personally, it was very brave of her to do this. I mean, we live in a world where we talk about gender equality. We talk about, equal rights for both men and women. We're trying to flip the script and understand that women are powerful. And also, we also understand the fact that women are emotional creatures. They think with their hearts. And for a woman to take this up, to take up the mantle, to say, you know what, I love my boyfriend so much that I would marry him. Now, you have to understand, I'm a guy, of course, and I understand from the fact where some people will say, oh, well, this is kind of emasculating to the guy. It's sort of degrading in that way. Why would she do this to him? Or blah, blah, blah. But if it's a real man to me and you really love this person, who cares what society says? Who cares what society thinks? When are we going to step out and break the cycle? This woman should be celebrated. This girl should be celebrated for putting her heart out on her sleeve. It's not easy, whether you're a man to propose to a woman or a woman to propose to a man. I mean, psychologically, we're told that it's easier for men to accept rejection because we get rejected all the time. And that's the truth, ladies. We get rejected all the time. I mean, ask a player, ask anybody out there who's been out in the field, going out, stopping a lady, asking her out, trying to get her phone number, trying to get that attention and all that. It's not easy, but we do it because that's what we're supposed to do, apparently, as guys. Now, a lady now steps out of her gender role and decides, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to propose to my boyfriend or whoever. And we try to publicly shame her for doing something like that, for getting on one knee to propose. When do we turn off the PC-ness? When do we appreciate what the gesture she made? And, you know, funny enough, these comments were actually coming from women. I think reading some of these comments, they were coming from women. You should be celebrating your sister. This is sisterhood here. She did something. She was brave. It was brave enough for her to do it. And it's unfortunate that, of course, you know, and then some people are blaming the guy. Why would the guy do that to her? I mean, personally, you have to understand where the guy's coming from, but at least you have to appreciate also, as a guy, you have to appreciate also what this woman did, because it took a lot of bravery. So back to the story I was telling. Now, this person has, like I said, for many years, seen this guy as the person she's going to marry. Of course, the guy liked her, but it was on and off. He never really, you know, invested, let's say, that much. But in her heart of hearts, she invested, and she thought at some point this guy is going to come around and marry me. Turns out it didn't work out that way. Is it the guy's fault? Or is it the girl's fault? Sometimes we need to be able to step off the ledge and take that leap of faith, to dive in head first, feet first, to throw caution to the wind and fight for what we love. And sometimes we have to also be courageous enough and brave enough to say, I love you enough to let go. I love you enough not to cause a scene, not to hold you in my heart with malice, but to give you exactly what you want. And sometimes it takes a lot of courage and bravery to accept defeat and say, you know what, if it's not working, it's not working. I will not lord this over you. I won't hold on. I will be vindictive. I'll let go. We have to get to this point in our relationships. We have to get to this point in our lives where we are not tethered or tied down by society and societal norms and conventions. Sometimes we have to break the cycle and step out of our comfort zones and do things that go beyond us, because that's what love requires. Love requires us to go above and beyond. Love requires us to sacrifice. Love requires us to step out of our comfort zones to find what we want, to get what we want. So, accept that nobody's love story is the same. Neither is yours. Nothing works as it does in the movies. Sometimes you have to break convention. And sometimes we also have to acknowledge and accept the fact that some things are just not meant to be. We must be able to let go of our inhibitions, of our fears, of our worries, of our doubts, of the things that are holding us back, and go out of our comfort zones and reach out. Because love requires bravery. This is still Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. I'm going to take a musical break. When we come back, I'm going to open up the lines to you out there for you to call in and share your love stories. This is still Heartbeat. And of course, my name still remains Bucci. And like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. you can hear the sound of my voice, I'd like to welcome you back to Heartbeat. Of course, the number to call for you tonight is still 081 1011. I'll take it again. 081 1011. Hello, good evening.
Hey, big bros, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Vera.
Vera. Happy New Year, Vera.
Yeah, we see the same.
What happened? You disappeared. It's like you traveled to the village and you got married and you refused to come back.
Yeah. If I got married, you'll be the first person to hear now.
Vera, how are you doing?
To give me somebody now, so you want me to just die alone?
No, Vera, it's not like that. There's someone special out there for you.
He rejected me now, no problem. One day we hear on the news that somebody committed suicide. That's when you know, so how had I know?
No, Vera, it's not going to. It's not like that. It's not like that, Vera.
That's what is a really kind of a thing. You sit down, you think, you don't have anybody to talk to, no good friend. No, you think anything now, can do anything. Have you?
No, it's not like that, Vera.
No, that's what you want now. How is work?
Work is fantastic, Vera. How is yours?
I'm okay. I'm just tuning in. Is there any topic or just to say hi?
All right, Vera. Thank you so much. Well, actually, we were just talking. We were just talking about relationships and going for things. Just going out of your way or going out of your box or stepping out of your comfort zone to go after the things that you want.
Okay. Okay, maybe I'll call back now. Let me listen.
All right, then. Thank you so much, Vera.
Take care.
All right, then.
Bye-bye.
Have a fantastic evening. Yes, this is still Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. And of course, this is Heartbeat. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good morning, sir.
Or good morning. I apologize. Morning. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, sir.
I'm fine. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
My name is Esther Mali. I'm calling from Lugbe.
You're calling from Durumi?
Lugbe.
Lugbe. How's Lugbe this evening, my sister?
Lugbe is cool.
All right, then. Talk to me. What can I do for you tonight?
Well, I've been listening to your stories and, what I just want to say is that, what is in my mind?
Okay.
It's about how things are actually going on these days in terms of relationships.
Okay.
Like some of us find it hard to just go into it due to one heartbreak or the other. I don't know, even though it's from both sides, but they're still faithful one. But then, the guys, let me say the guys, most of the guys are not really open to just be honest to you. Is what they just have in mind is just to have you get what they want.
Physical, yes.
It's over with them.
Okay.
But some of us might want it to move to another level. But then you find it hard to find those men. So we're just hoping to and being patient to see that God will make it work someday, somehow, somewhere. So I just want to tell some of our ladies out there that no matter how difficult it is, you find the right person. They will surely come someday.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's what I have to say.
All right. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, my sister.
Right, so bye.
All right, then. Have a pleasant evening.
Thank you.
All right. You see, sometimes you have to kiss a lot of frogs to find that Prince Charming. Now, the search for love is difficult. It's not an easy journey, but it's something that if you open your heart to, it will surely finds a way to find you. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Heartbeat.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Looks like we lost that call. Sorry, if you can hear me, please call back. Of course, the number still remains 081 8999 1011. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Heartbeat.
Thank you.
All right, what's your name and where are you calling me from?
I'm still calling from Japan.
Your name is what? Favor, calling from Jabi.
Yes.
How is Jabi this evening, my sister?
Hi, thank you.
All right, then talk to me. What can I do for you this evening?
Hi, Jeff.
Work is fantastic. It's fantastic.
Okay. I just want to talk about the
All right.
lady that proposed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do know. I mean, it's right.
Okay.
So, I do understand.
Mm.
You guys really know that she's married, or
Pardon?
I mean, the lady that proposed.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Did you know that married or married?
I don't know the video. It's actually something that's trending online. I saw it actually on Twitter today, but I think it's also on YouTube. I think it's on YouTube and I think it's on Facebook. I think I also came across it on Facebook today. She actually got down on her knees and proposed. You know how? Yeah.
Well, they did it for like 7 years.
Mm.
I mean, you know, she all that while, all that time.
Okay.
She would have known that he's married before saying that she wants to get married to him.
Oh, are you saying that the guy was actually married and she wants to get married to him?
Yeah, he was married.
That's an interesting dynamic. That's another twist to the tale. But if it's in that case where the guy was actually married and she proposed to him, the question then begs to differ. I mean, maybe she didn't know he was actually married. Maybe he was lying to her. And also, if she didn't know, was it wrong of her? Mike, I think the point I was actually bringing up was it actually wrong of her for her to propose to this person? Now, she proposed to the person that she loves and obviously wanted to spend the rest of her life with. Now,
You know, that this person,
pardon?
I mean, in our society, it's
Yes.
very low for a lady to propose.
Uh-huh. Of course, in our society, yes, it's one of those things. But at what point are we going to keep going with, okay, society dictates that a woman has to be, a man must propose to a woman. But if you're a woman who is in love with someone and maybe things aren't moving on and you want to take that initiative, is it your fault for actually saying, I'm stepping out and I'm going to break society's convention or society's norms and say, you know what, I'm going to be brave enough to say, I love this person and I want to express to this person how I feel?
Yeah.
So that's actually the question I'm actually raising. Do you think it was wrong of her to put her heart on her sleeve and actually say, you know what, I'm gonna go out for this person that I love? I mean, she wanted to obviously marry the guy. I don't know whether she knew whether he was married or not. I didn't even know if he was married or not. But for her to actually do that, I think it's the celebration of her bravery that I'm actually coming from. That's more of the point I'm coming from.
All right, thank you. Nice talking to you.
All right, Favor. Thank you so much. All right, then. Thank you. Good night. Of course, This still remains Heartbeat, and of course, my name is Bucci. And like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. The number to call is still 081 8999 1011. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
All right, welcome to Heartbeat.
Thank you.
What's your name and where are you calling me from?
My name is Kate. I'm calling from Durham.
Kate from Durham, could you please turn down the volume of your radio set so that you can hear me and I can hear you better? Is that okay?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you so much, Kate. All right, talk to me, Kate. What can I do for you this evening?
Yeah, there's this guy I'm dating, and there's so much of, whenever I see him, we'll be talking about yes, and I refuse to give him. He now refuses to call me. I call him, so he normally call me when we know me, we really know.
Yes.
So since he requesting that from me, I refuse. And I will not lie, I try when he tried disturb, okay, I gave him once, I said no, that was mistake, it won't repeat again. Just to prove to you that I love you.
Okay.
Anytime he invites me, he say it's what he wants. I say, me, I don't like it.
All right.
I said, I don't want it. He say, why? I say, this should wait till your marriage. If at all, like God has approved us, God will approve us. Now, before I know it, he stopped calling. I will be the one chatting him. I will be the one calling him. He stopped calling. If he call once, he will stop. I stopped calling. To the extent, if I text him, he will reply wrongly. And everything he said, I don't like him. I don't like visiting him. I don't like giving him what he wants. And I try to tell him that sex is not of it. That is his weak point. That is what he wants. And all the guys that's coming on my way, he's the only one that has so much love and is requesting that every time. So I don't know what to do right now. I don't even call. I don't even chat. Just if I even chat, he won't reply.
I'm so sorry about that. I mean, I think the writing's on the wall in this case. He's actually coming out to say this is what he wants, and you, of course, do not want this. Now, if it's somebody that truly loves you and truly understands who you are and what you want, he should be man enough to respect your decisions. Now, you also have to also understand that, yes, men are sexual creatures, but you, honestly, like you said, this is not something that you want. Now, if this is something fundamental in the relationship. Sex is a very important relationship, and it's also a defining point. It is not the beginning and end of a relationship. But if this is what he's saying that he wants, and you don't want it, and he doesn't want to comply, then let him go. Let him go. It just means that he's not meant for you. Now, you cannot, of course, you love him, and you can't force him to, love you back the way you want to be loved. But I would not say or suggest anything that compromises what you believe and what you want for yourself to please another person. If it's love, if it's truly love, and this person loves you as much as you love him, he'll be willing to see where you come from and even make that sacrifice for you. Like you said, sex is not the definition of the relationship. It's not something that you're into, and you're not looking at it until probably you get married. There's nothing wrong with that. That is your belief. That is what you want in your life. If this person loves you and wants the same thing in his life, then he should go above and beyond that. He should be able to look beyond that and say, you know what, I love you enough to say, yes, it goes beyond and goes deeper. Now, if he is telling you that, look, you know what I'm looking for you or what I want from you is sex, then that's not love. He doesn't feel the same way about you.
I should stop calling him now, chatting.
Don't bother him. Don't, in fact, let him go his way. That's what he wants. Let him go and find the sex wherever he wants to find it. I promise you this. There's someone out there that will love you and appreciate you for exactly who you are, and also will follow what you want. So forget it. It just means it's not meant for you. Don't kill yourself. C'est la vie. Such is life. Okay?
Thank you, sir. But I want help me to do one thing, sir.
All right, then.
Please, not only him, as many that are coming to me is what they are requesting. Please help me to tell men, single men out there, that sex is not love.
Of course.
It's becoming obvious. Almost all that are coming, and so I don't want it. That is what they want. If I say no, that person will go.
Look, Kate, let me, you have to understand something. Men, of course, men are sexual driven creatures. A lot of men think with, we think backwards. We think about what we see. We're attracted by first what we see that before what we feel. Now, men are sexual creatures. That's true. But I'm not saying you should settle because of this or compromise yourself. There is somebody out there that is willing to look beyond sex and see you for exactly who you are, will appreciate you for who you are. Now, you have to kiss a lot of frogs to get your Prince Charming. You're going to go through a lot of nonsense, and it's unfortunate that you're in that stage right now. You're going through a lot of nonsense and seeing a lot of nonsense. It takes a bigger man, a more mature man, and a more mature mind. That can go beyond and sees beyond sex to appreciate you and your person, or appreciate you for exactly who you are, not what you are in bed or what you can give him in bed. So yes, I understand what you're going through, and I promise you there is that special person out there that will cut through all this nonsense, all this physical sex nonsense, and appreciate and love you for exactly who you are, and love you the way you want to be loved.
Thank you, sir.
All right then, Kate. Have a fantastic evening, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right then. This is still Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, and this is Heartbeat. I think I have time enough for about one or two more calls. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, sorry. Good morning, my brother.
This is Simon calling from Durham.
What's your name again, sir?
Simon calling from
Simon from Durumi. How's Durumi this evening, my brother?
Durham is nice.
All right, then. Talk to me. What can I do for you this evening? Well, work is fantastic. Work is fantastic.
I just want to appreciate your work.
All right. Thank you so much,
I
my
come
brother.
from travel. That's why I let you call once again to reach you.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you so much.
All right, then. Have a pleasant morning. All right. Thank you. Yes. The number to call is still 081 8999 1011. Hello, good evening. Or good morning. Good morning. I keep saying good evening.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah.
Welcome.
This is Shirley.
Oh, Shirley. Hi. Welcome to Heartbeat.
Thank you. First time caller.
Awesome. Welcome to the program. Where are you calling from? Where are you calling me from, Shirley?
Warrington.
Oh, how's Guarimpa this evening, my sister?
Papa is cool.
All right, then. Talk to me. What can I do for you this evening?
Yes. Actually want to talk about the proposal
Yeah.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I don't really think it's okay for a lady to propose to a man.
Okay.
Because I also saw that video. And I felt so embarrassed. Like, why would she be crying out? And why would she have to embarrass herself? Probably the guy knows that. Maybe he has somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he has another date.
Yes.
Or who knows? Maybe they're just friends, and he's not thinking that way. So most ladies are always desperate about relationship stuff. Like, they see a guy, they want the guy, they don't know if the guy is into another relationship, which is bad. So at the end of the day, they are desperate. They want to do anything to have that guy, and they don't want to know if the guy has somebody he's also in love with. So to me, it's not for the lady to openly propose to a guy.
So, would you prefer it if she had like privately done it? I mean, okay. I understand where you're coming from, and you're making a lot of sense. Like, especially in the fact that sometimes out of desperation we tend to jump the gun and do things. We go above and beyond in that regard. But would you say it was wrong of her to actually do something like that? I mean, she did. Okay. I mean, let's look at it this way. Let's put it in this context. Now, of course, society, like the previous caller who called in, society dictates that it's not a woman to propose to a man, it's a man to propose to a woman. Now this person was brave enough, this woman was brave enough to break society's codes and get down on one knee and say, you know what, I love you, let's get married. Now you also brought up the point where the guy could maybe the chick is actually a side chick to the guy, let's put it that way. Maybe he has another relationship, maybe he's not taking her as seriously as she's taking him. Now is that the guy's fault or the girl's fault? Because she's probably taking him seriously and maybe he's not taking her that seriously. Maybe she should have seen the signs or whatever. But
yes, to me it's the girl's fault, because the girl's supposed to know who she's going out with and know if this person is into her the way she's into him.
Yeah, but that's it's kind of hard. I mean, you know how guys are. I mean, we lie, man. Guys can be terrible like that. We can lie. You can promise a girl the moon and the stars when actually you're just not that into her. Maybe she felt she was confident enough in a relationship.
If she's wise enough, or will I say, if she has been heartbroken before, she would know signs of when someone is real with her and when someone is fake with her.
Okay,
it is clear.
All right.
So if actually the guy was real to her, she would have seen it. And meanwhile, she would have tried saying something similar to it before now to see the reaction of the guy before going publicly. That's what I feel.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Right now, she's like, because guys are like, about the video, guys are like, why is this girl bringing down herself? Why is she doing this and that? So to me, I think she didn't do it right. If actually they were really into a relationship the way it seemed, I don't see any reason why the guy would reject her.
Okay.
It even make everything easier for them.
Yeah. Oh, Shirley, that makes a lot of sense. I see your point, and that makes a lot of sense. All right, Shirley, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Okay, thank you too.
All right, then. Have a fantastic evening, okay?
Same here.
All right, then. Good night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of tonight's program. I want to thank everybody who called in to share their thoughts, to pour out their hearts and share their thoughts tonight. Without you, there is no us. I want to say a big thank you to all of you tonight. I also want to thank the production crew out there for producing us tonight. I want to thank Baba K in the IT department and Desmond in the visual department for streaming us live and making me look this good. You can actually go to our social media pages. It's either Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Just type in Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM and catch us live. Catch a live stream of this program and also join the conversation. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Join us in. Because without you, there is no us. You can also catch any of our other programs that have aired today or any other day because we live stream all our programs. There's a big catalog out there of all our programs on our social media pages. So go out there, join us, join the conversation, and of course, thank you so much. Of course, my name is still Bucci. And like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. And I want to say one thing to everyone tonight. Remember, there is only one important thing in this life, and that is to love and be loved. Good night, everybody.